You can go a long way with a smile. You can go a lot farther with a smile and a gun. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I am kind to everyone, but when someone is unkind to me, weak is not what you are going to remember about me. Be careful who you call your friends. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. I'm a kind person, I'm kind to everyone, but if you are unkind to me, then kindness is not what you'll remember me for. You accomplish more with a smile, a handshake, and a gun than you do with just a smile and a handshake. I am like any other man. All I do is supply a demand. Some call it bootlegging. Some call it racketeering. I call it a business. In this life, all that I have is my word and my balls, and I do not break them for nobody. Hell must be a pretty swell spot, because the guys that invented religion have sure been trying hard to keep everybody else out. I am just a businessman, giving the people what they want. I am sick and tired of publicity. I want no more of it. It puts me in a bad light. I just want to be forgotten. Find the toughest guy in the room. Embrace him like a brother. And then slam his head against the wall. What do you want to do? Get yourself killed before you are 30. You'd better get some sense while a few of us are left alive. This American system of ours, call it Americanism, call it capitalism, call it what you will, gives each and every one of us a great opportunity if we seize it with both hands and make the most of it. Many people in this world live a disadvantaged life. You can lessen their burdens by providing support, either materially or emotionally. Even just giving a box of chocolate can bring a glimpse of light to those in need. Capitalism is the legitimate racket of the ruling class. They can't collect legal taxes from illegal money. I would rather be rich, affluent, and greedy and go to hell when I die than live in poverty on this earth. The country wanted booze and I organized it. Why should I be called a public enemy? When I sell liquor, it's bootlegging. When my patrons serve it on a silver tray on Lakeshore Drive, it's hospitality. Capitalists believe they can take everything at the table as belonging to them. All I ever did was sell beer and whiskey to our best people. All I ever did was supply a demand that was pretty popular. Why, the very guys that make my trade good are the ones that yell the loudest about me. Some of the leading judges use the stuff. Bolshevism is knocking at our gates. We can't afford to let it in. We must keep America whole and safe and unspoiled. We must keep the worker away from red literature and red ruses. We must see that his mind remains healthy. People who respect nothing dread fear. It is upon fear, therefore, that I have built up my organization. But understand me correctly, please. Those who work with me are afraid of nothing. Those who work for me are kept faithful, not so much because of their pay as because they know what might be done with them if they broke faith. Once you're in the racket, you're always in it. The parasites will trail you, begging for money and favors, and you can never get away from them no matter where you go. I'm the boss. I'm going to continue to run things. They've been putting the Roscoe on me for a good many years and I'm still healthy and happy. I've been accused of every death except the casualty list of the World War. The funny part of the whole thing is that a man in this line of business has so much company. I mean his customers. If people did not want beer and wouldn't drink it, a fellow would be crazy for going around trying to sell it. Why not treat our business like any other man treats his, as something to work at in the daytime and forget when he goes home at night? There's plenty of business for everybody. Why kill each other over it? My rackets are run on strictly American lines and they're going to stay that way. I've lost $1.5 million on the horses and dice in the last 2 years. And the funny part is, I still like them, and if someone handed me another $1 million I'd put it right in the nose of some horse that looked good to me. 90% of the people of Cook County drink and gamble, and my offense has been to furnish them with those amusements. Whatever else they may say, my booze has been good and my games have been on the square. Don't let anybody kid you into thinking I can be run out of town. I haven't run yet and I'm not going to. Prohibition has made nothing but trouble. Now I know why tigers eat their young. Public service is my motto. Vote early and vote often. Racketeer? Why, the real racketeers are the banks. It's a racket. Those stock market guys are crooked. You'd be surprised if you knew some of the fellows I've got to take care of. They talk about me not being legitimate. Nobody's legit, you know that, and so do they. Nobody's really on the legit when it comes down to cases. Don't you get the idea I'm one of those goddamn radicals? Don't get the idea I'm knocking the American system. It seems like I'm responsible for every crime that takes place in this country. I have spent the best years of my life giving people the lighter pleasures, helping them have a good time, and all I get is abuse, the existence of a hunted man. I have always been opposed to violence, to shootings. I have fought, yes, but fought for peace. And I believe I can take credit for the peace that now exists in the racket game in Chicago. I believe that the people can thank me for the fact that gang killings here are probably a thing of the past. I got nothing against the honest cop on the beat. You just have them transferred someplace where they can't do you any harm. But don't ever talk to me about the honor of police captains or judges. If they couldn't be bought, they wouldn't have the job. It's pretty tough when a citizen with an unblemished record must be hounded from his home by the very policemen whose salaries are paid, at least in part, from the victim's pocket. You might say that every policeman in Chicago gets some of his bread and butter from the taxes I pay. I never stuck up a man in my life. Neither did any of my agents ever rob anybody or burglarize any homes while they worked for me. They might have pulled plenty of jobs before they came with me or after they left me, but not while they were in my outfit. A crook is a crook, and there's something healthy about his frankness in the matter. But any guy who pretends he is enforcing the law and steals on his authority is a swell snake. The worst type of these punks is the big politician. You can only get a little of his time because he spends so much time covering up that no one will know that he is a thief. A hard-working crook will and can get those birds by the dozen, but right down in his heart he won't depend on them, hates the sight of them. Every time a boy falls off a tricycle, every time a black cat has gray kittens, every time someone stubs a toe, every time there's a murder or a fire or the Marines land in Nicaragua, the police in the newspapers holler, "Get Capone."